I'm like, oh my God, humanity is cooked. The compassion, non-existent. The empathy, we don't know her. Instead of rallying around your sister, wishing her the best, sending your thoughts, prayers, whatever, you're more concerned about the fact that she could be financially benefiting from her trauma. For some people, the only justice they're going to get is coming to the public with their truth. Unfortunately, because the judicial system is not going to give you the justice that you deserve. Okay? It's not. Going to court sometimes is like, think about the women who have been essayed. The court finds the man guilty and then lets him go with a slap on the wrist or 3 months served or whatever the hell. There's no justice. So I'm not mad about the fact that she went onto the internet to tell her story, because where is the justice in this society? Where is the justice in this country? Where is the justice? Hey guys, it's Nija. Welcome back. I have been grappling with if I wanted to touch this topic with a 10-foot pole, and so for a while I was like, no, I'm not going to say anything about this. Like it's completely unfortunate. I'm not going to say anything about it. But then I started seeing the comments and it really was disheartening. And it really was, I don't know, I just felt so disappointed. 1, in humanity, and then 2, in women, and then 3, I don't know. It made me feel a lot of things. And for those of you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to be talking about Isis on YouTube. She is a content creator. Her claim to fame, or how she got, the content she was making on YouTube, was about hypergamy and about dating men of means and how to have that trophy wife lifestyle. If you guys clicked on this video, you probably already know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, Isis had come out and said that her children had been essayed by her husband. Now, as much research as all of you guys have probably done, like, this is not me going to be giving you research and spilling the tea and telling you what type of records I pulled and all kinds of other things. Like, you guys literally turn into detectives when it comes to other people's lives and other people's, like, what they have going on. And I get it. God bless you. But what I really want to talk about is what made me feel so disheartened and so disappointed in humanity. And it was the fact that instead of offering support, offering love, offering words of encouragement for this woman who's obviously going through something, people had the audacity to ask her, is this even true? Are you just doing this for clout? Are you sharing this experience for clout? Are you, and I was like, oh my God. Humanity is so removed from compassion and removed from empathy that they cannot even hold space when something terrible and traumatic has happened. But, like, are we surprised? Look at the state of humanity. Look at politics. Look at who's running America. So I'm not surprised, but I want to have a conversation about this. Why is it somebody's first thought to think that somebody is lying when they talk about being sexual assaulted? Sorry, I can't say that word because, YouTube doesn't like certain things. We'll get triggered. We'll get flagged. Something that I wanted to ask ChatGPT, how frequently are women in this country being essayed? Because it's not hard to believe. What is it, like 1 in every 3 women? So why are we on the internet arguing about, is this true? Is this fake? Is this true? Is this fake? I don't want to give you guys the wrong statistics. So let's ask ChatGPT really quickly. I just want to know, what is the statistic before I start running my mouth? Can you tell me what is the statistic of women who get sexually assaulted in the country? What is the annual number?
In the United States, about 1 in 3 women, or roughly 33%, experience some form of contact sexual violence in their lifetime, according to the National Intimate Partner and Sexual Violence Survey.
All right.
Annually, estimates suggest that around 463,000 women are victims of sexual assault or rape in the U.S., based on data from organizations like RAINN, Rape, Abuse and Incest National Network, and the Department of Justice. If you'd like further details or want me to check updated statistics, let me know.
All right, so we have this statistic right here. 1 in 3 women, roughly 33% of women in America, just America, this is not even all across the world, just in America, are victims of sexual violence. So why are we debating, is this true? Is this fake? Is this true? 1 in 3 women. Think about you and 2 of your best friends. The statistic is saying if you're in a group of 2 of your best friends, there's 3 of you total, 1 of you has been essayed. Why are we arguing about is this true or is this fake, as if it's so hard to believe that almost half the population of women have been essayed in this country alone? Okay, so I digress on that. That kind of ticked me off. The next thing that I wanted to say was people who are upset saying that she's using this unfortunate thing that happened to her children for clout or for attention, or you're more concerned about the fact that she could be financially benefiting from her trauma. And to that I want to say, if you are a YouTuber / content creator, a lot of us, I'll speak for myself because I'm on YouTube and I create content, right? A lot of us do use our platforms as therapy. We do use our platforms as a way to express ourselves, as a way to talk about things. Now, I get it. Some of you guys are saying this was way too explicit to bring onto the internet. You need to think from the mind of somebody who does content creation for a living. This is just as much as Isis' story as it is her children's story. So for those of you guys who are saying she shouldn't have talked about this, she shouldn't have put this on the internet, she's putting her children on blast, she's exposing her, this is just as much her story, Isis, as it is her children's story. Okay? So who are we to silence her and to say, oh, I wouldn't. Okay, you would never, and that's fine. But it's her decision to talk about her trauma on the internet. And you guys are probably saying, well, her kids are underage, they're minors, they shouldn't be. Those are her children. As the parental guardian of those children, she makes the decision of what's, she's the mother. Okay? For those of you guys who are mothers, I'm not a mom, right? So again, don't want to touch that conversation with a 10-foot pole, but can we just because I know a lot of people will try and discredit anything anybody says and say something like, well, you're not a mom, so you don't know and you don't get to talk about. Okay, let me get back to why I was so disappointed. The believability factor. You guys are really having a hard time believing that something like this could ever possibly happen is bananas to me. The next thing I want to say is you guys being upset that she brought it to her platform. When you're a content creator, you talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about. And so if this is happening in her life, and if she's created an entire brand, an entire business about this topic, and she starts pulling these videos off of her channel, of course, people who followed her forever are going to be like, hey, where'd these videos go? What's going on? What's happening? So no, I'm not upset or confused about the fact that she made a video about what has been going on in her life, because otherwise she might have been bombarded with, 10,000 comments from people who used to watch her asking her, hey, where'd your video go? Hey, where'd your videos go? Hey, where'd your videos go? Can you imagine her having to explain to each and every person, which she would, it's her life. She doesn't have to explain to each and every single person what's going on. But you guys love to say, well, she put it on the internet, so we're allowed to have an opinion because she put it on the internet. Guys, you're right. You are allowed to have an opinion. But this is really what irked me. The loudest people in the comments, when I'm talking about the comments, I'm specifically talking about this community post that she posted 6 days ago. And in the community post, she said, thank you guys all for your support. I can't begin to express, what this means for us, blah, blah, blah. And then in the comment, she says, please donate to helping us start over. Anything helps. And she drops the GoFundMe. Why were so many people upset that she dropped the GoFundMe? I'll tell you why. People don't like the fact that creators are able to leverage the community that they built to ask for support. They hate that. I'm going to touch on that in a second, but let me step back for a second. People were upset, and I'm not even going to put words in people's mouths. I'm going to read the comments, because when I tell you I was appalled and disgusted, I'm just so confused as to what is going on in people's heads. Let me read to you guys what I wrote, because I did respond to this community post. I said, to everyone who was triggered at the fact that this woman is asking for help, I think it says more about you and where you are financially, or it is your projections and your own fears. Because a lot of people were like, well, there are so many scammers on the internet. There's scammers on YouTube. Scammers. She's just doing this because she's scamming. First of all, who is talking about SA? I'm not even going to say who's talking about SA to scam somebody, because I get it. People do all kinds of crazy things. Let me ask you personally. Would you personally make up a lie about your children or somebody that you love being SA'd to financially profit off of it? No, you probably wouldn't. Okay? I don't know any mother who was a good mother, who loves her children, who would intentionally want to exploit the fact that they had been essayed by their father. And another thing, I know I'm going on like a million tangents right now, but people who watched the video were mad at the fact that she was still calling him her husband. I don't know how many years this people were married, but that was her husband. This is the context of what's going on. Some of you guys were like, I would never call that man my husband after what he did to my child. This is still the context of what it is, okay? She's not saying some random man on the street essayed her child. She's saying, no, my husband, the man that I was married to, he did it. He did it. So for those of you guys who are like, why is she still saying my husband? Why is she still claiming him? I feel as if she's just giving context, right? She wouldn't be like, oh, this man, whatever. No, the man that I called my husband, the man I dedicated my life to, the man that whatever. So I'm not confused as to why she was saying my husband. That was her husband. Why are we arguing about, like, okay, she's definitely going to divorce the man, so he's not going to be her husband for long. But for context of the story, yes, it was her husband, the father of her children, who essayed them. So I'm not confused about why she kept referring to him as her husband. That was her husband. As terrible as the things he's committed, okay, they're going to get divorced. But context for telling the story, she's not talking about some random stranger on the street. She's talking about the man she was married to. I digress. And then for people who were like, just so desensitized. I feel like we're just so desensitized when it comes to things of this nature. Maybe because it happens so frequently. What I was saying to everybody is that if you don't feel called to contribute, if you don't feel called to, donate, then don't. But why are you gallivanting in the comments talking about, we need to be aware of scammers. We need to beware. Okay, use your discernment. If you don't feel called to donate, then don't. Move on and go on about your business. But the fact that you spent the entire day in the comments of this woman's post, obviously she's in a desperate and vulnerable place. The fact that you spent all day in the comments talking about scammers are real, scammers are real. If you're afraid of being scammed, then don't donate. What is the conversation about? What are we arguing about? If you think that she's a scammer, then don't donate. If you think that she's a scammer, then don't contribute. Why? What? Anyway, I digress. Okay, so let me finish reading what I said. I said, if you don't feel called to contribute, just don't. Okay, you're afraid of scammers, then keep your coins. It's fine. It takes a lot of humility, one, to ask people for help, and two, to expose so much trauma. No one is talking about their kids being essayed for fun. Okay? And so if you're afraid of being scammed, make some space for somebody who isn't afraid, but stop projecting your fears about scammers. Use your intuition and your discernment and do what's best for you. In the comments, people were like, she's got over 1 million views on that video. Payday is on Thursday. She doesn't need our money. Jealousy. That's what I hear when I read that comment. I hear jealousy. And correction, payday is not next Thursday for her, because as a YouTuber, as a content creator, I would know because I make content, right? You have to wait a month before you see, money from your content, right? Regardless, God is in control. And so if she got 2 million views on that video and she's about to get a major payday, I don't know how much money she's going to make per million. I don't know. I'm not putting that out there. However, clearly she needs that money. Why are we mad at the fact that she asking for help to move out of her situation, which I'm going to speak to this because I have been in a situation where a man was financially providing for me and I was living with him in his house. And yeah, it is really hard when you find yourself in a toxic situation to leave when somebody else is financially providing for you. Mind you, her husband, not some stranger. Okay, so many women are stay-at-home moms and their husbands provide. So I'm not confused as to why she's asking for money to get out of her situation. If the man in her household was the sole provider in her household and she no longer has access to that money that she was using to take care of her children and fund her lifestyle, I'm not confused as to why she might need some financial help, especially if I'm going to put this out there too, and it might trigger some people. Yeah, if she was living a lavish and luxurious lifestyle and her lifestyle, she's not going to have the money to maintain that lifestyle. And of course, that shouldn't be her priority to maintain her lifestyle in that capacity if she was living luxuriously and lavishly. But yeah, she still is going to need money to support her family, support her children, and get herself in a safe place. Why are we mad at the fact that somebody's asking for help? You don't yell at people standing on the side of the road with their little cup asking for spare change. You don't roll your window down as you pull up to them and say, hey, you piece of shit. Why are you asking for people's hard-earned money? Why don't you get a job? Nobody's doing that. So why do we think it's okay to accost somebody on the internet? This is what I wanted to talk about. There were so many keyboard warriors. I want to talk to the keyboard warriors. You guys have so much to say behind your computer screen, but none of you guys would ever dare turn on your camera and show your face and say all the hurtful and harsh things that you were saying under hers or any other content creator's videos. You would never show your face. You would never put yourself out there. I think it's so hilarious that you guys have so much to say behind your keyboard. Why don't you turn on your camera and say it to somebody's face so we can take you seriously? And I get it. Some of you guys are like, well, she's the one who put her business on the internet. She's the one who put her business out there. We're allowed to have an opinion when she put herself out there publicly. Yeah, she did put herself out there publicly. But you would never. I find that the people who have the most to say would never put themselves on the internet. They would never. I respect people more who are shit talking when they put their face behind it. Some of you guys have so much to say, mad about the fact you guys subscribed to her for the fact that she was giving you trophy wife lifestyle. She was giving you hypergamy. She was giving you dating advice and giving you glitz and giving you glam. And you guys, I bet you were secretly hating on her, but you were subscribed to her channel and you were watching it and you were eating it all up and you were loving the content. But as soon as she has a downfall, as soon as something bad happens to her, everyone is just like, well, that's what you get. That's what you get for trying to date a man who has money. That's what you get for trying to use someone for their money. That's what you get. That's what you get. That's what you get. What? You guys were subscribed to her. And the first chance you get saying that's what you get? What? So you're saying that her children deserve to be SA'd because she wanted to marry a man of means? I don't know a woman who doesn't want to marry a man that has some money. What are we talking about here? You're mad that she got, and then for them to say that this happened because the man had money. This could have happened to anybody. I know a lot of bums have SA'd somebody. Okay, so this has nothing to do with, oh, the man had money, the man didn't have money. Oh, you didn't vet the man well enough. She vetted the man, okay? Unfortunately, a lot of times people don't start doing the things that they do, the nefarious things that they do, until they get comfortable. Okay? So the fact that we are blaming her, saying that it's her fault that this happened to her children and she should have vetted them better, and it's her fault for wanting a man who was successful, and that sounds like jealousy to me. That sounds like jealousy. Because somebody who is poor and broke and living in a shack, the same thing could happen to them. Somebody who was never married and just had a boyfriend, the same thing could happen to them. Somebody who went overseas to another country, same thing could have happened to them. Like, this could have happened to anybody. You guys heard the statistic. 33% of women in America have been SA'd. 1 in 3 women. This could have happened to anyone. This has nothing to do with the fact that she wanted a man that had money and that's why her kids got SA'd. What are we talking about here? Okay. I want to get back to these comments because this was bananas. Okay. Somebody had added me and said, to be fair, you should watch her older videos such as Single Mom to Spoiled Housewife in Less Than a Year. She said that she was at risk for being homeless, so she moved in right away with the man, but she made over $90K a year. So people are like mad at the fact that, one, they're saying she moved too fast with this man, which I don't know. I mean, like, I watch Mina Irfan, Universe Guru, on YouTube. And she knew her husband for how long? What, 2 months before they got married? You don't see. Anyway, I don't think that. I don't know. I feel as if she probably vetted this man well. You don't know the intentions of people. You don't. Okay? You just don't know people's intentions. People saying, stop asking for money on the internet and go get a job. You guys sound bitter. People who are telling her, you should just go get a job. Those are the main people who hate their own job. Hate to see somebody making money on the internet. Hate to see it. Hate their own job. Hate to see people making money on the internet. And your response is, go get a job. Stop being lazy and get a job. Stop. Like, what? Oh my God. Just so disappointed in humanity. Just so disappointed. Someone said, I have no respect for women who finesse men for status because that's too lazy to get it on your own. Okay, so you're telling me that you can't genuinely find love for a man of means. It's impossible. Never can happen. Can never happen. I don't know. I'm just so disappointed. Someone said, she put her daughters in danger in the situations. The babies have my sympathy, not her. So it's clear money is all she cares about. So absolutely, I'm pocket watching. Because I was like, why are you pocket watching? Like, why are you concerned about when her YouTube check is going to hit? Like, what? And she was like, oh, I'm absolutely pocket watching. I feel bad for her children, but not for her. Somebody added me in this comment and said, at Nija Sym, you can't trust a lot of people on YouTube nowadays. It's not that people are being mean it's not that people are being mean, but a lot of moms post kids trauma for views and profit off of it. So what I'm hearing right now is you guys only have a problem with the fact that, one, she asked for money, and two, that she will get paid for that video that she posted. That's the only thing you guys really have a problem with. Nobody is upset about the fact that these children got SA'd. Nobody is upset about the fact that this happened. No, like, it's just like, why are we so concerned about her money, how much money she doesn't have, you know, what she's going to do with the money that she made off of that YouTube video? Why do people care? I'll tell you why. Because financially, they're not in the best place. Someone said there's no arrest record. And of course, you guys would know that because you were doing all the research. You guys have become the detectives. You guys are investigating this case on her behalf for her, saying there's no arrest records. Why don't we give them some time to do the investigation? Why don't we give them, clearly if this man has money, he's definitely going to be trying to fight whatever charges or accusations, right? So let's just give it some time to unfold. Let me read somebody else's comment, because this was interesting. Someone said, you all are so jealous of content creators and business owners. Go become a content creator, start a business, or get a better paying job, and stop with the jealousy and hate towards women who did nothing to you. I concur. Somebody responded to that and said, I'm not jealous. I was on her side before she asked for money. Why should a rich woman need money from women who probably have never seen anything close to what she has? People work hard for their money. They don't need to give it to somebody who makes bad decisions after bad decisions and believes herself to be above getting a job like women. Okay, so you can hear the jealousy in the comment. You can hear it. She said, I'm not jealous, but why does she get to ask for money on the internet when the rest of us hardworking women are at our jobs making money? Ma'am, if you are not in a financial place to help somebody, then don't, right? But why? It's like you're mad about the fact that she is asking for help and you're like, you don't deserve to ask for help. You need to just get a job. Oh, because you love your job so much? She said, people work hard for their money. They don't need to give to somebody who makes bad decision after bad decision. Babe, then don't. What are we arguing about here? Then don't. Someone asked her, what did you used to do for a living before you got married to your husband? ? So here's the thing. Even if she were to, even if, for those of you guys who are saying she needs to just get a job, even if the very next day or the very day that she found out all this stuff was happening, even if she put in a job application to get a job, do you know how long it's going to take her to go through the process of hearing back from the job, going through the hiring process? Okay, she might get a job, right? She's not going to see any money from that company for at least 2 to 3 weeks. She needs help right now. So for everybody who's saying, well, why don't you just get a job? Okay, so she is a content creator. So let's say for all intents and purposes, her job is to make YouTube videos. She did exactly that. She made a video talking about what was going on in her life. And yeah, she'll be financially compensated for it in about a month's time. We're talking about the morality of it. Was it okay for her to put her children's information or her children being essayed like that? I want to say it's just as much her story as her kid's story. So whether it's right or wrong, it's her story. She gets to use her own discretion as to if she wants to share it or not. She could have used her own discretion as to whether she wanted to monetize the video or not. She can use her own discretion whether she wants to ask for donations or not. It's her life. She can do whatever she wants. And again, I know people will say, well, then don't get mad at people for saying what they want to say about her. I'm not. You guys can say whatever you want to say, but I'm just saying, to me, it makes it just seem like people are jealous and happy for the downfall of this woman. And that really made me kind of sad. Someone in the comments says, where's the Porsche? Where's the Chanel? I guess insinuating why don't you sell those things and make some money? Someone said, you have a YouTube channel. You will get paid. Let me go ahead and expose this girl. Nikki Carey 4071. Do you have a YouTube channel? Because people are talking a lot of shit and they would never put their face behind the people or behind the things that they're saying. What? Someone said, start over from scratch with no connection to the monster money. God will see you through this, hun. Stay strong. That was one of the more positive comments. Someone said, put that man in jail and get a damn job already. This bragging and begging pipeline is crazy. I'm just so disgusted with humanity. Just so disgusted. It's just so sad. Someone in the comments said he's locked up. His bank account ain't. Stop the foolishness. You stat here degenerating women about men with money. Oh no, degrading. I think she meant to say degrading. You said you were sitting pretty over there, so stop begging online. Really? Again, the only problem that I feel like people are having right now with this woman is the fact that she asked for money. I feel as if she never asked for money, I mean, no, they have two problems. They have a problem with the fact that she asked for money from her job, which is YouTube. If you're a content creator and you make content for a living and you ask the platform that you've been putting time, energy, and dedication in for I don't even know how long, and you know you've developed and built an audience of people who say that they love and appreciate you and want to support you, and you ask them for donations or you make a sale, what's the difference between somebody asking for donations and somebody telling you about the product that they're selling? Like, you guys, stop being jealous. It's really, 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 really sad. The entire situation is just very unfortunate. But again, instead of people seeing it as that, we want to argue about the fact that she asked for money, that she needs to get a job, that she needs to stop deleting stuff. People in the comments saying, stop deleting stuff, ... Why are you lying? Stop deleting. It's just so disgusting and disturbing. You know what I wish? People are going to hate me for saying this, but like, I wish that only people who posted videos on YouTube and showed their face would be allowed to comment on certain things. If you don't show your face on YouTube, you shouldn't be allowed to say certain things, especially if you're just like throwing shade and hate at people, but you would never put your face behind it. I don't think that that's right. But again, that's the internet, so. Someone said, you just deleted all your videos, LOL. I was trying to leave this comment on your how to level up with your kids video. Oh dang, they wrote a lot. I don't even feel like reading all this. Someone said, it's disgusting how many women are in these comments hyping up this egregious behavior. You have failed your children over and over again. You have even documented your failures on the internet. This is a long ass comment, so I'm not even going to get into it, but like, the judgment is unreal. I'm so happy that everybody who left a comment is perfect. Please teach us how to be perfect. I am so grateful. Who wrote this comment? I see Jupiter. I am so happy that you are so perfect. Can you please tell us how you became so perfect and how you made every right decision in life? Please tell us and teach us your ways. Like, the judgment is just like, what in the world? As of 11/21/24, 10 p.m. EST, you still have photos of your innocent babies' faces and names on your public platform. You still continue to exploit your children. Unbelievable. Shame on you. This is what makes being on planet Earth exhausting. Not only do you have to worry about the men essaying you, not only do you have to worry about the men essaying the butterball turkeys, right? Because it's so hard to believe that they would hurt children. And again, not all men. I love men. I love healthy men. This man clearly was not healthy, so, you know. But why are we dragging Isis? Why don't we have anything to say about her husband? Why don't we have anything to say about how disgusted we are at the fact that people essay children? Why don't we have anything to say about the fact that rape is wrong and like, why aren't we having that conversation? Why are we having a conversation about this is a lie and this is the truth? This is why, for those of you guys who are curious, like, you know, when people come out like years later and confess that they've, you know, gone through sexual trauma or things like this is why it takes people so long to come out and express the things that have happened to them. Because people are so callous on the internet. Like, people's hearts are so freaking cold. And it's just so sad. It's just really, 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 really sad. It's just really sad. Somebody said, calling yourself a trophy wife and married to a black dude. Ha 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 ha. You can't be serious. Like, what? Someone said, we are praying for you, but please tell us, is he locked up? Like that's a better comment. That is a better comment. That is a better comment. I just want to come up here and read some of these comments because I was just like so appalled. And then of course like all the commentary, like people making videos and things like that, like saying, oh, this is her fault and she should have vetted him better and blah, 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 blah. Like, would we be saying the same, would we be having the same conversation about a woman who was not in a hypergamous relationship? Like, let's say like there was an average woman in suburb America and she was a stay-at-home wife and she had a husband and her husband went, like, what if the same thing happened to an average woman who didn't have all the money that ISIS says that she was like, living this lifestyle? Would we be having the same conversation with her, or would we be having a little bit more compassion? Like, this happens on a regular basis. This probably happens every single day in America. The fact that we can't find the compassion and empathy is just really disturbing. This is from Sarah Bright 5231. Please, people, wake up. Do not donate. Real victims do not do this. She's a scammer. If I were a real victim, I would never tell anybody because, like, based on what I'm seeing in this comments, I would never say a thing. I would never. And this is so sad. You know that number, the statistic that 33% of women have been essayed? The number is probably even higher than that. But women aren't going to talk about it because of how easy it is to tell somebody, you're lying, you're a liar, you're a liar, you're a liar. I really think this is just about the money. This entire thing is just about the money. Not for ISIS. Like, I don't doubt that she's going through what she's going through. I mean, I'm not putting my face on the internet and talking about my unborn children and how they've been essayed. I'm not doing that for fun. So I don't think she was doing that for fun. Maybe she got into such a desperate space that she knew that if she did share her story, at least if no one's going to donate to her, at least she can, like, help her family the only way she knows how. Veronica 8 says, I hope he sues the shit out of you for slander. This is why women don't come out and talk about the things that they've gone through. There's no belief. There's no compassion. It's just really sad. Humans are really sad. Veronica said, why don't you sell your Chanel bag? Sell your big rock too. Also get a real job. Veronica, do you love your job? Do you love your job, Veronica? Tell us. Veronica, do you make YouTube videos? Veronica with 5 A's and an 8. Because I just think that, if we're going to be freely talking shit on the internet, like, let's go ahead and expose everybody, right? Why do people think that they can just, like, say the most cruelest things to people and get away with it? I'm tired of people getting away with saying shit and they have no profile picture, post no videos, but have the most to say. I'm so confused. Somebody said, no sympathy for you. Mind you, it says user in a bunch of letters. So again, we're talking to people who are not even real people. They just have profiles, probably living very sad and miserable lives behind the screen. Said, no sympathy for you. You spread a toxic message that women should be superficial and materialistic and devalue the average man for not being wealthy enough. First of all, you're mad at a woman for her own personal desires, right? You're mad at her because she decided that this is how she wanted to date, and this is how she wanted to find love, and this is how she wanted to find her husband. And you were following her, I'm assuming. So you think that the message that she's sharing is toxic, yet you are following her, watching her, so engaged in everything that she's doing under the sun. And then for those of you guys who, maybe you weren't subscribed to her, right? And you just like saw somebody talking about her, hopped on the bandwagon, and now you're like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, do we get mad at women, or do we get mad at men for wanting to date models? No, we don't. We're not mad about it. In fact, we encourage them to go find the baddest woman that they can find. Okay? I feel like the female equivalent is finding a man who can financially provide for you and your household and your children, your lineage, right? Finding a man who is emotionally stable, physically stable, financially stable, spiritually stable. Like, who doesn't want a man like that? Who doesn't want a man who has his shit together? Why are we mad at women for wanting a man that has their shit together? Like, if you don't care if a man has his shit together, then date a man who doesn't have his shit. Like, I don't get it. We're mad at somebody for what they believe they deserve, and we want to tell them, you don't deserve that. You don't deserve to find a man who is successful. You don't deserve to, why don't you just get a real job? Well, guess what? Those successful men, they don't want a woman who has a real job. They don't. They don't. Look at the most successful men, the most elite men, the most high achieving men. They don't want a woman who has a job. Why? Because they appreciate that woman is available for them whenever they need them to be available for them. Whether it's right or wrong, this is the psychology. Okay? Successful men who have the ability to retire their women and make them a stay-at-home mom, they don't want a woman who's at work. They want a woman who's at home watching their children. And some of you guys don't understand that, and you're mad about the fact that that's an option. I digress. Someone said, when someone is not in your shoes, people can't tell you what you should or shouldn't do or how you should feel. My heart goes out to you and your kids. I'll have you in my prayers, sweetheart. I agree. If you're not in that situation, you can't tell somebody what they should or shouldn't do, how they should or shouldn't feel. Like, you don't know. If you were desperate enough, you don't know what you would do for money, right? Some of you guys in your head would be like, I would get a job. Well, good, babe. Go get a job. Go get a job. It's fine. Okay? I feel as if people are mad that there are some women who don't. Is this politically correct? No, I'm not going to be politically correct right now. I think people are mad that there are some women who don't have to get a job. It's unfortunate that something like this happened, but this could have happened to anyone. I think the moral of the story is that women, you always have to have your own money. And again, know this from my own personal experience, because like I said, I've been in a relationship where I was ready to leave a toxic situation, but I couldn't because I couldn't financially provide for myself. Right? And so I really think the moral of the story is, even if you're going to be with a man of means, always have the money to financially, make your escape if you ever need to, right? You should always stash a little something on the side. And I know we think like, I shouldn't have to do that. I'm married, right? Even married or not. Anyway. Someone said, sharing all of this on social media is going to backfire if you truly are taken to court. The judge will want to know how you intend to support your children, and sharing their abuse on social media for money will not suffice. This is exploitation of innocent children, your children. Okay, so we're mad that she is talking about not only her children's situation, but her situation, what she's going through. So we think that she shouldn't be allowed to talk about what she's going through. Like, I get it. Minors are involved. Her minors. Not some random stranger's minors. These are her minors. She is the mother. She's the mother. She gets to decide. She gets to decide. And, it's just really sad that talking about what's going on in your life is considered exploitation. Because somebody who didn't have a following on YouTube could have did the same thing, made the same video, gotten 0 views, and nobody would be talking about how she's exploiting her children for money because she didn't make any money from the video. Right? really, I think this whole thing is about money. People don't like the fact that she was living a ritzy lifestyle. They don't like the fact that she doesn't have a job. They don't like the fact, sounds like a bunch of jealousy to me. Anyway. Someone said, I most definitely believe your story. I wish that the awareness was shifted to the terrible man. Thank you. Because why do we only have shit to say about ISIS? Nobody cares about the fact that this man is running around free essaying children. Again, this goes back to why we have our priorities messed up. Our priorities are so messed up. Instead of talking about how terrible this man is and how awful this man is, we're talking about how terrible ISIS is. One of the victims. We're victim blaming and victim shaming and saying that she's exploiting her children for clout. Someone said, please report her GoFundMe for emotional manipulation and her YouTube video for misinformation. Luna Vert said that. Someone else said, I'm unsubscribing because as someone who was a victim of SA, this is so wrong and I hate the fact that you're exploiting your children's trauma. Okay, so apparently the moral of the story is if you ever get essayed, don't ever tell anybody. Ever, ever, ever in your life. One, because people won't believe you. And two, because they will say that you're trying to exploit your trauma for money. If you ever talk about the fact that you were essayed. That you or your children or anybody that, just don't talk about it because you're a scammer and you're exploiting people. Anyway, I think that's a good thing. And that comment was from Mila Beauty 1205. Mila Beauty, I think it's okay to unsubscribe now. I think it's okay to unsubscribe. Oh, this is why I said I don't want to touch this conversation with a 10-foot pole. Because I'm less concerned about, obviously, this is so sad that this is happening to her. I'm more concerned about the fact that as a society, we have turned into spectators. We don't really give a damn if justice is served. We're just concerned about the fact that I don't want you to financially come up from this traumatic experience that you're going through. And, F the kids. I don't care that this happened to them. I don't care that man did this to them. I am mad at you for talking about it on the internet. All right. Let this be known. Anybody who has ever been essayed, don't talk about it on the internet because people don't give a furf. If you guys don't know, I'm being very sarcastic right now. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate. The reason why I commented because I'm like, oh my God. Humanity is cooked. I'm not even trying to laugh about it. It's just the compassion, non-existent. The empathy, we don't know her. So sick, so sad. Someone said, as a woman, I applaud you for your bravery. Thank you for putting you and your daughters first. That was a nice comment. Someone said, it's so sad. My kids were touched and I went to the police. Nothing happened based on how it's set up. It's crazy because my daughters were 3 and she told me. She said things she should not have been able to say or comprehend. Okay, so this person right here just said, it's so sad. The same thing happened to my child when she was 3 years old and nobody believed her. Right? So maybe it's a good thing that ISIS is coming out to the public with this information in case it is downplayed or somebody tries to say this is a lie or that never happened. For some people, the only justice they're going to get is coming to the public with their truth. Unfortunately, because the judicial system is not going to give you the justice that you deserve. Okay? It's not. Going to court sometimes is think about the women who have been essayed. The court finds the man guilty and then lets him go with a slap on the wrist or 3 months served or whatever the hell. There's no justice. So I'm not mad about the fact that she went onto the internet to tell her story, because where is the justice in this society? Where is the justice in this country? Where is the justice? So yeah, if you gotta go be a vigilante and make your own video about the stuff that's going on in your life, I'm not mad about it. Why? Because there are going to be a million people who are going to tell you that you're a liar anyway. So you might as well speak your own truth on your own platform if you can. Somebody said, you should delete that video about your daughter's private situation. They are babies now, but they will grow. They didn't consent to put all this private situation here. Also, you should get out of social media for now. It is not going to help with your mental health on top of the situation that you are already living. So again, people are just saying like, you shouldn't have posted that video, you shouldn't have put that out there, blah blah blah. But here's my question: what if she did try and go through the court system and they couldn't, for whatever reason, pin the blame on her husband or whoever? Where would her justice be? She would have to just sit on the information, keep her mouth shut, and just like cry about it in the corner? No, this is happening to her. Yes, it's happening to her children, but it's happening to her as well. You guys think, oh, it's so embarrassing for her children. It's fucking embarrassing for her as well. Everybody who knows her, everyone who will see the video, millions of people have seen it. Probably everybody that she knows in her own personal life has seen this video. Okay? So, I don't know what kind of clout you guys are after, but I don't think that that's what clout looks like. I don't think clout looks like your marriage burning down, your children being essayed, and you're like, oh, I know what to do. I'll fix all of this. I'm just going to make a video and it'll all be better. I don't think that that was her thought process or mindset when she made that video. I truly don't believe ISIS was intentionally trying to exploit her children. I truly believe ISIS was just sharing her story. It is very unfortunate that people lack the compassion and empathy to hold space for this situation, but this is the society that we live in. This is the country that we live in. This is, like, for God's sakes, our president has been convicted of sexual abuse and assault, and like, okay, it's another day in America. So I'm not surprised that people felt the way that they felt. I'm not surprised that people were upset at the fact that she asked for money. Somebody had commented, why are you asking for money so soon? So soon, as if it would be more acceptable to ask in a month from now. No, if she needs the money right now, then I'm not surprised why she asked right now. She's probably like has lawyer bills and trying to, pay for a hotel to have a roof over her kid's head or whatever the hell she needs. Truthfully, this entire situation just made me really sad and disgusted for humanity. Again, I have less to say about ISIS and her situation except for praying for her, wishing her the best, and I'm so sorry that this happened. What I really wanted to address was the collective. What I really wanted to address is humanity. What I really wanted to address is the condition of people's hearts and how people are so cold right now and so apathetic. And that was what was the most disheartening to me. I'm not surprised that people, don't believe women when they say that they've been essayed, or don't believe children when they say that they've been essayed. I'm not surprised about that. This is the world that we live in. I'm not surprised. What is disheartening is the number of women, instead of rallying around your sister, wishing her the best, sending your thoughts, prayers, whatever, you're more concerned about the fact that she could be financially benefiting from her trauma and that she needs to get a real job and be a better mom. Like, sick, disgusting, sad. Didn't want to make this video because I feel like I'll probably get thrashed and slandered in the comments because I don't agree with people being assholes. But those are my 2 cents. All right, guys. That's what I have to say. Thanks for watching. Bye.